Many of you have asked me to talk about how startups, and specifically startups like Uber and Airbnb, get their initial traction. What can we learn from the Ubers and the Airbnbs of the world about getting or acquiring those 1,000 first customers? Now, most of these startups like Airbnbs and Ubers of the world run on a platform business model, wherein typically they connect two sides of the platform like buyers and sellers or riders and drivers and so on. The challenge is to understand which side to grow first. It's a classic chicken and egg situation. In general, platform models work on getting the supply first. For example, in the case of Airbnb, if there is no supply, people will not come. However, if the platform has listings available, then there is value for people to come to the platform. After this, the demand will automatically trigger supply, and more supply will trigger more demand, and so this chain reaction of sorts continues. In the case of Uber, it's quite evident that the supply side is limited, and that's what Uber should attempt to grow, or Uber attempted to grow in its initial phase. But how do you get the supply side going? Here are a couple of ways to build traffic and traction for your platform. Actually, not couple, but I'll give you a few more tips about how to grow the initial traction. The first one is piggybacking. For Airbnb, the challenge was to get listings from the homeowners, and Airbnb started thinking about where would people go if there was no Airbnb. The answer was clear: Craigslist. They found volumes of people who were renting out their apartments via Craigslist. The property owners had nothing to lose by listing on Airbnb as well. So Airbnb advertised on Craigslist and reached out to people who were listing on Craigslist, and suddenly Airbnb was blossoming with huge volumes of listings. The supply side is sorted. Now, second point is choose your suppliers carefully. In order to get huge volumes of suppliers or listings, platforms should very carefully choose their suppliers and not get swayed by just the volumes. They should invest in moderation and filtering out the bad eggs. Supply will build demand, so platforms should have zero tolerance here. For example, Etsy, they went on to craft fairs across the country to identify and onboard the best possible vendors for their platform. Number 3, focus on user experience. Help your supply side sell better and look better. Just getting the listings is not enough. Those listings need to look very attractive and provide a great user experience for the demand side as well. Airbnb hired professional photographers to go to property owners' homes to take inviting pictures. This made the site look much more attractive than the competition. Uber also started with black cars first in US, wherein they accessed a pool of professional drivers and enrolled them. This created a professional experience for riders, and Uber instantly had a huge fleet running on the road. Now, these great user experiences trigger more demand because they spread via word of mouth, and the platform starts receiving more referral customers and repeat customers. Now remember, if you are not getting repeat customers, or if you're not getting repeat users, you will not get referrals. That's why building a great supply side with great user experience is the number one task for any platform driven business. Okay, so point number 4, find strategic gaps. For example, Uber did not launch in all cities on day one. They identified which cities show the widest gap in terms of supply and demand of taxis. They did not stop here. Then they identified which time bands show this wide gaps and launched in specific cities and specific time bands only. Airbnb followed a similar strategy with its rollout, launching in Denver in 2008 to coincide with the lack of hotel space during the Democratic National Convention, and adding new cities at times when they had major conventions or other events. So launching in situations of high demand and low supply also helps startups acquire the right types of customers. These right type of customers are also the early adopters, so which are very very important for any platform, because these are the people who adopt your technology or your platform the first. They give you the feedback, and they don't get very angry if there are some gaps in experiences. So these are a few ways or strategies in which some of the largest players of the world have created traction in the beginning, and acquired the initial customers, and then went on to scale their operations up. So in the upcoming videos of Digital DNA, we're going to talk about, now that you have acquired the first few thousand customers, the initial traction is now there on the platform, how to now scale up from here. What can we learn from the Ubers and Airbnbs of the world? Thank you very much.